Hello, my name is Nico Rockensüß. I am the CEO of Mindfield, and I would like to introduce to you in this short video the new Mindfield eSense Pulse, especially the eSense app of it. When you download our eSense app for free from the Apple iOS Store or the Android Google Play Store and start the app for the first time, you see this overview. You see, we have 4 different eSense here. This is a version 4.0.8, which is our latest beta version. And as you can see, we are already launching a 4th eSense, the eSense Respiration, which will be available in our shop in March. In this video, I would like to show you the functions of the eSense app in general, but especially also for the eSense Pulse. Please excuse myself if in this video there will be mistakes in my English, and I apologize for that. I decided to do this video completely without any written transcript, just from what I think you should know and learn about the eSense app by my thoughts, which may come up as they come, and this video might be different if I do it another time, but let's go ahead. You tap on the logo, the eSense Pulse logo, and here you see the main screen. The main screen in landscape. You can turn your device to portrait mode and you will see a different view of the main screen. The main screen is for a free training. You just press the start button at the bottom and can go ahead with your biofeedback training and measuring of the heart rate variability. You see at the bottom there are these dots indicating that you can swipe over to different screens, which are mostly only visible and useful when a session is running. At the bottom left, you have 6 different icons: the house, the arrow, the little gear, the info button, a box, and a list. Let me quickly introduce to you these buttons. When we press the home button, we will always return to this main screen here. If we go on the back arrow, we will get back to the main screen here where we choose our eSense. I will go back into the eSense Pulse part of the app. Then we have the gear here, and the gear is the settings. The settings of the app, where you have a lot of possibilities to choose from different settings for feedback, for biofeedback, and for specific settings of feedback types like the breath pacer you can see here, and the video, which is used for biofeedback. You can download additional videos, and some general settings like the name of the session, the length of the x-axis, and so on. You can show a tutorial here, which is always shown when you start the app for the first time. You can activate markers, some specific settings for the Fourier transformation, and some visual settings for the chart and colors, etc. So this is really a very complex section of the app where you have a lot of settings you can choose from. And at the very beginning, we need to pair the eSense Pulse to get started. So here I'm now already wearing the eSense Pulse chest belt. It's on my own body, and I have applied a little bit of contact spray, and I have already connected the eSense Pulse. It's done via Bluetooth Low Energy, and you only connect the eSense Pulse within this app. So you don't go to the Bluetooth settings of your iOS device, for example, or Android device. You only do the connection here in the settings. The only thing you need to do is activate Bluetooth on your device in general. So then we click choose eSense pulse. We see another image showing how to place the eSense pulse under your clothes directly on your skin. And here again is the eSense pulse, which is detected, which I am wearing now at the moment. And I just check it, and it's searching again and says it's paired and ready to use. Battery level is 96%. Battery level will be battery will be good for around a year, depending on usage, of course, but it's for a very long time. So next, I click on the home button again, and to get back to the main screen, which is still waiting for me to start the session. But before I do that, I show you the other sections of the app. So we, beside the gear, we see this little info button here. We click on it, and we get a lot of additional help for how to use the app and how to do a biofeedback training. So there is some general information about what is biofeedback, what is the heart rate variability, how to set up the eSense pulse, how to apply some contact spray and to apply the sensor unit. And here about training, there are different tabs at the top, the training procedures, which are explained in detail how you do a good biofeedback training and how you um, customize it to your demands of feedback. Then we have the manuals tab where you can download the PDF manual and read it on your device or print it out. We have the FAQ and the troubleshooting, some compatibility information, and some instructions for the export of the data. You can export any pulse data, raw data, it's your data, completely as comma separated value files, CSV. Um, and here we have some videos. We go there, you get get on our homepage, and you can download some eSense videos about the pulse, the one which we are creating right now. And if you have some feedback for us, if you have some questions about how to use the app, then please send us a message. You can do so from inside the app here on the last tab. So please do me a favor and read this help section first. It will answer a lot of questions on how to do biofeedback, what is heart rate variability, and how to use the eSense pulse sensor. So next button at the bottom left, the box beside the info button is taking us to the archive. The archive is where you see all your recorded sessions, and you see them here in the list. I have only done one little short recording. I can tap on it, and then I see it again. I see my HRV curve again. I see a lot of statistics when I scroll down, and I can delete it or export it as comma separate value file or as PDF report. So this is for looking into one single recording. You see at the bottom the export all. When you have done maybe 10, 20, or even 100 recordings, you can export them all in a single zip file, which is very convenient. And you can analyze the sessions if you have more than one and compare them in many different types of statistics here and data, one session with each other, and you can choose from. You can swipe here also each session to the left and delete it or export it. Yeah, and here at the bottom, at the top left, you have this settings where you can select and choose the sessions you want to analyze and compare. Sorry. So last bottom left icon, which is the little list you see, these are our procedures. The procedures inside the app are pre-made sessions. They are already offering you a repeatable training program doing a specific task. For example, the first, which is here in German, but it's also in English in the app. It's about relaxation, and the second is a stress test, and the third is a guided breathing exercise. And when you want to do the procedures, which is also nice at the very beginning, you just press the play button here, and it is starting and running on its own. You don't have to do anything and just follow the instructions in the procedures. If you want to do your own procedures, no problem. You can create one. Here at the top right, you have this red plus button, and then if we do that, we can create our own procedure. And this is a very powerful feature of the app, meaning you have an editor for making your own training sessions. Of course, here also we first have to connect the eSense pulse, and we say a name for this procedure. We can set a password to protect it, and then we click again on the plus to add a new module. And a module can be a text you can type in, it can be a fixation cross, an image file, a video file, audio file, an arrow, a bar graph, a smart bulb, an oscilloscope, a breath pace, a spectrogram, many different types of modules we have with and without biofeedback functionality. And each module you can set a custom duration for, and here put in a text, for example, some instructions to say this is now a short exercise for relaxation, and you show this text to the user to yourself for some seconds, so enough to read it, and then after that comes an oscilloscope showing the HRV curve, then comes a nice relaxation video which reacts in feedback to the heart rate variability score, or you play a tone, a music, some spoken instructions, etc. So this is a really powerful tool, and you can create your own procedures here. Now this procedure has just a text module, and I can add another one. For example, this will be shown in another video because the procedures are too complex to explain them now here. So now we have also a video, a text, and when I go back here with the arrow, you see this test procedure now 4 minutes long. You can run. Okay, so if you want to do biofeedback, go back to the main screen. You have two options. You can do it just as you wish when pressing start, and I do that now here. I press start, and then the data should be incoming, or I've waited too long. Now, sorry, I have to reconnect my eSense Pulse because there's a little timeout when it's not used for a longer while. Start again. Okay, here we go. Here is the pulse coming from my heart now, measured from the eSense Pulse I'm wearing. And yeah, this is the real-time curve. And of course now I breathe quite unevenly. So we have an HRV curve which is a bit disturbed and not so regular. But this is what we call the free training. It's up to you how to customize it. You see now here the pulse curve. And for the heart rate variability, it's the goal to achieve a very good variability, meaning a huge difference between the minimum and maximum of this curve you can see here. And you see the difference here at the top in 28 heart rates is the difference at the moment I had here. And you see my average heart rate at the statistics. You see some time when the values are increasing and some decreasing. And yes, this is a first impression on how to do biofeedback with it to achieve a very regular sinus-shaped curve. And I can go here to the video, and the video is becoming blur in this setting with little variability and becoming sharp with larger variability, higher variability. And to achieve that, I should stop talking and focus on my breathing and take a very deep breath. And then the algorithm will adapt to it. I will explain how this works. When I go further, I can see here the breath pacer. Showing me how to breathe in and breathe out. And the better I do this, the more coherence I get. You can see at the top right the coherence value, which is difficult to achieve a good value now when I'm talking and explaining. But here you have the breath pacer, and you can customize the breath pacer in the settings. For example, I go to the settings now while the session is running, and here you see many feedback options. Music we don't use now, tone we don't use now, tactile feedback, you can let your smartphone vibrate. Smart bulb feedback is a very unique feedback controlling Bluetooth and the Philips Hue lights in color with your pulse, with your heart rate variability. And the breath pacer, which is activated here, you can choose between a sphere and a line, and you can enable an audio tone, giving you a quick bell or something to breathe in and breathe out. And you can set the exhale time, some hold time, some inhale time and hold before exhale, set the colors of this sphere, and you see the resulting breathing of 6 breaths per minute. Here is the video, which we already saw. You can preview it here, and you have different types of changing this video. We have start stop, meaning it's running when the HRV increases and stopping when it decreases. And we have blur, brightness, and saturation changing when the HRV increases and decreases. So getting a more blur or more bright or less bright, more saturated and so on. And you have an automatic mode which is running now, and you can set a time window, meaning that within this time video, the app analyzes my HRV curve, and within 30 seconds here, for example, is looking for the maximum and minimum of my pulse. And in between, it's interpolating and changing the video. So this is about video feedback. Then we have some general settings. Yes, and we can go back now after changing the breath pace a little bit. And you see now it's already adapted and the breath pacer is different now. With the new pattern, I removed the hold time in between, and it's now guiding me how to breathe. And then my HRV, which is now really fluctuating because I'm explaining and speaking, is disturbed. And now give me a couple seconds, please, and then I will breathe with the breath pacer. And then you see how my HRV curves gets more regular, and the amplitude increases a lot. So what you can see here is that it becomes more regular, that I calm down with every breath. My heart is beating slower, now slow as 60 something, and the coherence went up. And now when I start talking again, you see it's increasing again, the pulse rate, and not that regular anymore. And I'm a bit more stressed. Here you can see the Fourier spectrogram, the transformation showing you the respiratory sinus arrhythmia, meaning that I can see a peak, which is the peak I am breathing at a constant rate. When I do that, then my heart is responding to my breath, and then you see in the rate you breathe a peak, and this is analyzed based on the last minute. So you have to breathe really regularly to see a nice peak here. Otherwise, it's not working, the detection. So here the video again, getting blur and sharp, the curve again. So now we have 8 minutes and I stop it. Then I'm asked what was my position. I was sitting now and I feel great. And I can add some notes to that. And yes, then it comes to the statistics, showing me the increase and decrease and steady of my HRV amplitude in this pie chart to the left. But we will improve that a little bit in the next update and interchange that with a new measure of regularity of the curve, which is a better measure than the increase decrease of the amplitude. On the right, you see a lot of statistics, and these statistics may be unknown to you as if you are new to HRV. They are validated with Cubius, a well-known software we are also offering from a third-party developer from Finland, Cubius.com. These statistics are one of the main and most important statistics you get from the pulse data, you get from the HRV, and you can use them to compare your progress of training over time. And yes, they are explained in the manual if you want to learn more about your statistics here. So you can have a look again, you can swipe and have a look again at your curve, pulse curve here. For example, at 6 minutes something, you see when I was taking deep breath here and the curve decreased, my pulse was lower. And here I can see the video again, and these two slides are only shown when the session is running. So I hope you got a little introduction to the eSense app, and I have shown you only a few percent of what is possible because we didn't use the music, the tone, the tactile, smart bulb feedback, and there is a lot of possibilities to use the procedures and create procedures on your own. So this is only a short introduction and it's already 25 minutes. So I hope you see the powerful tool this eSense app is to do biofeedback training, to do recordings, to do some research, to have clients use it as a professional coach or trainer, and this for a really good price of at the moment 129 euros. And for that you get this app, you get the eSense Pulse, you get a manual and some contact spray all in a nice box. And you can combine in the future the pulse measurement with the eSense respiration, which is a new fourth eSense sensor coming, and it allows you to measure your breathing with another belt, and you can combine it with the pulse belt, and then you get your breath inside the pulse app, your real breathing pattern, and not only from the breath pacer we have. Beside that, we have the eSense skin response to measuring skin conductance already since many years, a very successful eSense, and the eSense temperature to measure your skin temperature for biofeedback training to get your hands warm. And you have many possibilities in these parts of the app as well. I hope you liked this video and you like our eSense sensors, and thank you very much for your attention. Have a nice day and have a look at the other videos on our YouTube channel. Thank you and bye bye.